What is up, weather enthusiasts? I'm your host, Pat's Path Predictor. Let's get right into the weather. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are back with a very big situation. Hurricane Lee is currently explosively intensifying, so we are here live to answer all your questions and give you some analysis from our tropical team on Storms United. So we're going to go ahead and introduce the team before we get into the news. First person we're going to mention, of course, is Blue. They've been doing very good. So, Blue, say hi and introduce yourself.
Hi, sorry, I'm taking some headache medicine, so I might be muted for a minute.
Oh, that's fine. All right, next one we have is Sakura the Thunderbolt. Okay, there they are. Say hello, Sakura.
Hello.
All right, next one we have is Cat. Cat, say hi whenever you're ready.
Hi.
All right, we have NWS the Second coming on.
Hello there. How you guys doing?
Yeah, we have Alan. Say hello, Alan, whenever you're ready.
Hello.
All right, and we have our newest addition to the tropical team on Storms United, Tristan. Say hello, Tristan.
Hello, everybody.
All right, now that the introductions are out of the way, let's go ahead and get into this situation right here. Okay, so here's the cliff notes we have. This thing is explosively intensifying as we speak. So, yeah, this is gonna be kind of a live analysis. We're gonna answer questions. Before we answer some questions, though, we're gonna go ahead and talk about the latest from Hurricane Lee. Here is the public advisory. We're gonna get to some more data in just a second. Currently, according to the 5 p.m. advisory, winds are 130 miles per hour, pressure's 953. However, we've been looking at hurricane reconnaissance that has been going in so far, and right now they have found winds to basically support a 155 mile per hour Category 4 hurricane at this time. Does anyone want to go ahead and expand a bit further in depth of what we're looking at?
We were looking at evidence earlier today.
Go ahead.
There was some conflicting evidence, some estimates, especially the eye temperature comparing to other systems that work at 5, that this system may be on the edge of a Category 5 due to some of the data. But also, in other parts of the data, it does still say 155. So what I believe is happening is transitioning to Category 5. Maybe winds are starting to get to the surface at this time, as we have confirmed flight level winds of at least 148 and some estimates.
Okay, Tristan, you're cutting out. So,
That's my money.
all right. Okay. All right. So, yeah. All right. So, thank you, Tristan. If you didn't pick up on that, he was talking about all the data and how we are at flight level winds of 148 knots. SFMR values are pretty close, around 144. Drops in data is at last drop we got in the northeastern eye wall was at 134 knots at the surface. However, we have some very strong winds that aren't too far away, so we'll have to pay attention to that as time continues to go on. And this thing has been explosively intensifying. About 24 hours ago, this was an 80 mile per hour hurricane. Now we're on the verge of a Cat 5. This thing is doing what Matthew and Maria are doing at this point, just explosively intensifying. The pressure, just for context sake, is dropping at a rate of about 6 millibars every hour. Would anyone on the team like to explain why that's such a significant drop?
Yeah,
Well,
so I do want to mention this.
All right, Sakura, go ahead. You were first.
Yeah. Now the reason why the air pressures is so important in hurricanes is because if the air pressure drops that very quickly, the wind speeds will very wholly catch up to it very, very fast. And the wind speeds are going to catch up to the air pressure just about as fast. So if the air pressure is crashing very fast, then the wind speeds are going to go basically up on a graph per se.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. That's okay. Would anyone else like to go ahead and explain it? Blue, you were talking.
The reason 6 to even at some points 10 millibar an hour dropping is so significant and honestly historic for a pressure drop this quickly is because normal rapid intensification is about 30 millibars in a day. This dropped 30 millibars in 6 hours earlier today, and then it did it again, another 25 in another 3 hours, something like that. Rapid intensification, to be exact, is a 35 knot increase in, I believe, 24 hours.
35. Yeah, it's 35 miles per hour, or a pressure drop of 24 millibars in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Let's point this out, right? So the first advisory of the day, 5 a.m. Atlantic Standard, had Lee at 80 mile an hour, 989.
I gotta interrupt you, Sakura. I would like to thank the Logo Fan 2014 for the
Whoa.
for the membership.
Wow. Yo, this is our first membership ever right here. Welcome. Yeah. Well, congratulations, Logo Fan. You are now Pat's Path Predictor weather enthusiast. I know, original, but I appreciate that. Yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for that. But go ahead, Sakura.
Yeah. So as a reminder,
one more thing I want to say
go ahead.
about the Logo Fan. At everyone in chat, say something like, thank you, congrats, Logo Fan 2014.
Yeah. All right.
Anyways, continue, Sakura. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry for cutting everybody off.
Just to get a big picture of how fast Lee has intensified over the past few hours, right? 5 a.m. Atlantic Standard Time advisory had Lee at 80 mile an hour, 989 millibars.
We have it pulled up.
11 a.m. advisory. Okay. 11 a.m. advisory, 105 miles an hour, 983 millibars. That is a drop of 6 in 6 hours, I think.
Yep, and
6 hour differences?
Yep, 6 hour differences. And then here's the jugular.
And then the current advisory, it's now up to 130. So that is a 25 mile an hour increase with a pressure tanking of about 40 millibars?
Wait,
is that 40?
Hold on. Wait. No, it's 30 millibars. 30 millibars.
It was 983, crashed to 953. Yeah, okay, 30. I was about to say.
Yep.
It would have been 943 for crashed 40.
Yeah. All right.
And then the next advisory is at 11 p.m. Atlantic Standard.
Yep, that's our next advisory right there. We'll have to.
It appears the stream might be cutting out on YouTube.
It is?
On my end, it's just fine.
Yeah, it's fine on our end. Okay, we're good on our end, so that's good. But anyway, back to the news. Sacker, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Yeah, that's just about how fast this thing has intensified over the past few hours. And let me just stress this too, right? I want to look on the discussion real quick.
All right.
So at the 5 a.m. advisory, or the 5 a.m. discussion on Lee, they have forecasted this thing to be 155 at peak.
Yep.
Okay.
Well,
keep that in mind.
Yeah, 5 p.m. 5 a.m. Let me go ahead and pull that up.
Then 11 a.m. they wanted this thing to be 160 at peak.
All right.
And then the most recent advisor, now they want this thing to be 165 at peak.
Yep. So the NHC is calling for a Cat 5 hurricane at some point. I don't think, when's the last time we have seen this happen from the NHC? I don't think I haven't seen a scenario where they've called for a Cat 5 at this early out in years. I don't think they even did that for Irma,
And then not to mention the first advisory ever on this storm, they wanted this thing to be 140.
I want to say this is the earliest on they've... I know Irma, they didn't... I guess Dorian was a ways out, but when they were pretty sure after it got up into that warm area that it would be a Cat 5. I don't know if that counts, though.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever, I'm saying, in general, okay, never mind. They did call for Florence to be a Cat 5 at one point. never got to that
They
point.
did.
So, yeah,
Thank God.
yeah,
Thank the heavens.
yeah, that's good on that front. But yeah, is there anything else?
Maria.
Oh,
I know Maria bombed out to a Cat 5 relatively early on.
yeah, it basically did what this thing is doing right now, to be honestly enough. Okay, it looks like the plane is starting to turn, and it is heading for the northwestern eye wall. We're gonna get some new data to see what's going on in this thing, because this thing's at least a high-end Cat 4 at this point. So
ATCF has it at 135 knots. If you'll go to that page on Tidbits, where it has the
ATCF, where is that at?
current storms, Hurricane Lee, it'll have the 135 knots, and that's directly
Yep.
from the ATCF.
Yep.
And then if you go down to the intensity guidance, I honestly wouldn't show this on stream just because of
Yeah.
panic. I don't want to cause anyone to panic attack, but just look at it privately.
The Storms
Yeah,
United
we've
team have
seen
seen it.
this. We saw this, and what model wants this storm to do something we have never seen in the Atlantic?
Yeah. For sure.
We're just gonna say that much.
Yeah, well, I'll just tell you what I'm looking at. Pretty much all the models are calling for Cat 5.
They're all calling for Cat 5.
Yeah, they're all.
Just put it that way. It's going to be a Cat 5.
Oh, 1,000%. 1,000%.
I will also like to say this by recon data. Apparently, I don't really know, because this data is new to me. I haven't tracked it for years. The first time I ever.
You're cutting out, Tristan.
You're cutting out.
Oh.
Your mic is being stupid again.
Ouch.
Yep.
If you want to just give updates in the chat, Tristan, if you're cut out, we can do a mod, I guess.
Yeah, live no mic, you could do that as well. We can definitely look at that. We have also, for those of you who do not know, we have a lot of people behind the scenes from this. So, yeah. All right. Okay, we just hit 100 concurrent viewers on the stream. So, be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It really helps us out. And if you want to come hang out with us at Storms United, come join our Discord server. Let me go ahead and link that for you right here and right now.
And I do want to note, by the way, with Lee approaching Cat 5 status, this would mean, if Lee does become a Cat 5, this would mean every single basin in the world has seen a Cat 5 this year. Malor in the West Pack, Freddy the Southwest Indian, Kevin in the South Pack, Mocha in the North Indian, Ilsa in the Aussie region, and earlier today, Hova actually became a Category 5. I was blown away by that.
That is insane.
I went to sleep with that thing at 105 and woke up to 160.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Well, I was awake for 80, and I got up, and I'm still awake for 155. Sorry, I was awake at 80 and woke up at and still awake at 155 with this. But all right, who was going in? Who wanted to come in? Oh, Tristan. Okay.
Tristan.
His mic's not cooperating with him, unfortunately. I
was gonna say I gave him the stream. If he wants to just type in the chat on the stream, we can give him mod right there.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, I actually have to go because I have school in the morning.
All right, Sakura, you go ahead. Have a nice night.
Yep, you too. Thank
See
you for having me on.
See you, Sakura.
Night, Sakura.
Yeah, stay safe.
Sayonara. Have a good night.
Yep. Yeah, this is crazy.
Also, I am keeping an eye on this stream chat, by the way.
All right, that's fine. Thank you.
I am too. That's kind of what I was going to have Tristan do, since his mic isn't working.
That's fine. That's fine. All right, so we have Alan in the stream right now. Alan, you're looking at all this data right now. If you can hear me, what are you seeing from all this? What are you taking the most away? What's the thing you're most taking away from this?
This thing's going to be a Cat 5, pretty much guarantee at this point. Could eventually threaten maybe United States East Coast or maybe the Bahamas and the very long range.
Okay,
Like,
Tristan is in the chat.
Okay, this we'll let you know the pressure is a lot lower than 936 due to it not being near the center of the eye. Yeah, I figured that was the situation with that. But yeah, okay. Thank you very much for that. Excuse me. All right, so the big question here is just like I've been getting a lot of questions both here and as I was on David's stream not too long ago about where this thing was going, who's been getting hit. Yeah, I got some question. Yeah, we got some questions here in chat right now. If you guys have questions, feel free to type them in. We're gonna go ahead and answer them right now, so that way we get everything and we can talk to you guys. Yeah. Is there a chance this is going to hit Florida? No. At this point.
Someone already asked earlier, and I told them that it's not expected.
Yeah, at this point, it's not expected. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is good. Yeah. Is there a chance of it hitting Virginia? Well, it's
likely it'll be in the Northeast and or Nova Scotia and Newfoundland.
Yeah, one thing is go ahead, finish up.
I'm thinking personally, it's too far out to know, but I'm thinking it will affect the Northeast in some way, but it's too far out to know exact details.
Right. Yeah, one thing I have noticed though, for those of you who are just tuning in, remember we saw the cold wake that's happened with Franklin, as this was a huge Cat 4 out to sea, and also, and the fact that this thing's intensifying at such a rapid rate, I've been hearing that that Lee's ventilation could potentially strengthen the high and push this even further to the west. How far to the west, I don't know, but I think from what I saw with the discussion and from what Mike's weather page put out on Twitter, I think someone put it on Storms United. A Discord server let me see if I can find it real quickly. Anyway, yeah, basically the NHC is not even sure how far when this thing's going to start turning, so just keep that in mind.
MM2 blocks, could it get higher than 170 miles per hour? Honestly, yes, it could easily get to 170 miles an hour. 165, 175, because 170 doesn't technically exist because the way they round it.
Yeah.
It could easily get to 175 plus. I'm thinking it'll peak at 185 personally.
Yeah. That's a bold statement right there. Okay, where's the plane at? This is where the Hurricane Hunter reconnaissance is at the last update. We're waiting a couple of minutes. It's about to enter the core of the system again. So, yeah, in the next...
Javier Lopez, hold on. I just want to say, Javier Lopez says, what impacts will be felt in Puerto Rico? I just want to say this. In terms of the leewards and windwards and the greater and lesser Antilles, your main concern is going to be rip currents. Maybe some outer bands.
Yeah.
It's not likely to impact you.
Yeah, I'm thinking that if this thing undergoes an eyewall replacement cycle too early, it's going to expand the storm in size, and that could potentially lead to some outer bands getting into the Antilles for sure. We'll have to wait and see on that, but so far it's a bit... things have been a bit uncertain for sure. Okay.
Yeah, but the direct impact is chances are slim to none, and frankly, Slim has left town.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking on the satellite right now. Is this thing taking a wobble towards more to the west, or am I just seeing this? If you guys want to take a look at that, I just wanted to make sure.
It's too early to tell.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that.
Might also just be the eye shrinking.
Yeah, most likely at this point because this thing's still explosively intensifying. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so we have a new position right now. It's currently right here. It's about to move through the core of the system in the next 20 minutes or so, so we'll be able to get that data as this becomes available to us. So, yeah. Okay, all right. We have 150 people in the stream, 165 people in the stream. That's incredible. Be sure to like the stream and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Yeah.
Congratulations, not just to you, Pat, but to everyone in chat for making it happen.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. Yeah. Yeah, my viewers are... yeah, I get that. Okay, we got some more important questions, though. Watching from coastal Virginia, Any feeling on how close this will get? Thoughts from the chat. Not from the chat, from the team.
In terms of Virginia, I think it'll get kind of close. Definitely rip currents will be a question, or will be a factor. But it's hard to tell exactly how close it'll be, because, again, it's just so far out.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's see. Okay. What is making you take out Florida as an option? I've seen hurricanes move a more westward track. I'm currently in Daytona, where where our seawalls are still destroyed by Ian and Nicole. I'm right now. I can actually go ahead and show you what we're looking at on at least
mainly a weakness in the ridge.
Yeah, I'm gonna show.
It's projected to happen.
Yeah, I'm gonna show that here. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the European. I know I haven't been really relying on the model, so I am gonna show you what I'm looking at. So this is gonna be a bit of a more educative look at this, but this is what I'm looking at right here. This is about 150 hours out. There's this ridge right here that is building up more towards the north of it. And there's this trough right here that's building up, according to the Euro, in the Midwest in the Midwest over here. That's gonna start making this thing turn more to the north and push it more towards maybe New England or Nova Scotia. So that's why I'm really ruling that out. It's gonna really depend on how strong this ridge is right here, and let's say the cold wake and the ventilation basically makes this stronger. Now the question is, will it cancel out this trough right here? That's the big question we have, and unfortunately, the trough and ridge have been the most unpredictable parts of the model as of now. And it kind of is throughout the whole sequence of the model, so that's why I'm really ruling that out at this time. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Anything south of South Carolina, that's where I'm thinking, is not going to get an impact.
Really, I'm going to say, personally, anywhere south of Wilmington is probably not going to get hit.
I'm just looking at it in case something,
something crazy. But I think the furthest south track would be something like Isabel 2003, and even that's slim chance.
Yeah. Okay. Will Nova Scotia get hit? And if it does, how strong will it be? Too early to tell. I wish I could.
I will note, if something does head up that way, it could be a lot stronger than what you're used to seeing, though, due to two reasons: the warmer than normal sea surface temperatures, and frankly the prior strength of the storm.
Testing 1 2 3. There we go.
Okay, that's Tristan.
I am on my phone, so yes, I had to switch devices.
That's fine. Welcome back.
Thank you. So, I did have a few points to point out, but my mic decided to die on me, unfortunately. First of all, we have officially reached the average hurricane season, with Lee being an ace maker and now the 14th storm of the season, and people may be confused. How is this the 14th storm of the season? A 70-mile-per-hour subtropical storm in January was unnoticed. That's how.
Yep.
So if you're confused because it says only 13,
I'm going to correct you there. We noticed it. It's just it went unnamed at the time.
It went. Actually, I said it was subtropical in January, and they were going to miss a storm. Apparently, I was right in May. I also wanted to note that this storm is likely, at least by the estimations I did, it has to be 928 millibars, because I feel like, especially when you still have a little bit of wind in the eye, that can kind of mess up the drop zone. So I will want to say that this storm is likely, and this is interesting. Remember, Hurricane Laura had 920 pressures with 150 miles an hour. So if this
I thought it was 930s. I thought it was 930s.
I think it was 929, I believe. I can check just in case.
That was Ida.
The strongest storm of 2022 was actually, in terms of pressure, was actually Fiona.
Yep.
931 when it was tropical. I believe 929 just after it went ex-tropical.
I feel like let me check Hurricane Laura.
And then Ian was a Cat 5 and was 937.
Yeah.
Okay, Laura was 937. Thank you for correcting me.
Okay.
I'm talking about 2022 with Ian.
But yeah, this can definitely, all the winds have to do. I sent some information to Blue on DMs, that even though it is 155 on the surface, look how close 180 knot winds are to the surface on that drop. That's scary.
Okay.
That means that we're definitely getting 160 either tonight or tomorrow morning. There's no way it doesn't do it at this point.
Yeah.
Unless it goes through a surprising eyewall replacement cycle. In fact, I can check microwave imagery right now because I actually.
Okay, we're getting new frames on this.
MM2 blocks. Lee's imagery is beautiful. It looks too strong for 130 miles per hour for some reason. That's because the recon has come in and confirmed it's at bare minimum 150 to 155 miles per hour. ATCF has it at 155.
Yep.
It only is coming. The only reason it's not 130 yet, it's not that from the NHC yet, frankly, is because it's between advisories that it's still exploding.
Okay.
I will also want to say Lee's ventilation is kind of cut off. If you look in the satellite imagery very carefully, you can see there is a small little low northeast of Lee that is actually triggering some wind shear on the western side. So I do think Lee's being a little bit limited, but that should be only for a short amount of time.
Oh, yeah, I've noticed that. Anyway, speaking of satellite estimates, we're getting our first satellite estimate from the adjusted on the Dvorak estimate of Category 5 strength. At this time.
That doesn't completely surprise me at all.
That doesn't surprise me with the drops on.
I'm wording things badly. That does not surprise me at all. It's just Recon didn't find it because.
Ooh, tell me Recon's going directly in the eye.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's going in the next 20 minutes or so. But anyway, I wanted to pull your guys' attention on something. I'm looking at the latest satellite imagery. Let me see if it. Yeah, it looks like it's made a noticeable jog towards the west. Are you guys seeing that, or is that still a little too early to say?
We've been seeing that all day. In fact, I said it was moving more west than forecasted all day today, ever since it started intensifying. That goes to show that it's going west-northwest. It's going a little bit north because of the Coriolis effect.
Of course.
I might pronounce that wrong.
Yep, that's Coriolis.
When the storm tries to get stronger, it tries to go north. But then the upper low, so that's the subtropical ridge, is pushing it more to the west.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting for sure. Okay, we have 223 concurrent viewers in the stream right now. That is incredible right there. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us out for sure. And also, if you want to come hang out with us, join the Storms Unite Discord server. It's in the pinned chat over there.
Welcome everybody with open arms.
Yep, yeah. For sure. Anyway. Okay, so
I just wanted to say Kat's heading off for the night. She said in my DM.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm over here about to pass out. I've had a long day. So
I don't blame you, man.
I'm heading off for the night, so I'll see y'all in the morning.
Yeah,
hopefully.
Yeah, before you go, Kat, could you, both you and Tristan, if you guys could type in the stream for me for a second, I have a surprise for you.
Oh.
Yeah, go ahead and do it.
Oh, Kat and Tristan.
Yep,
I
Kat
said
and Tristan. Kat and Tristan, sorry.
Give me a
the commandant. That's Tristan.
That's him? All right.
Just my message from the chat.
I'm going to say something so random here.
Yeah.
Don't kill me.
Anyway. All right. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Also, I would like everyone to note that we do not know Lee's impacts. The one impact, there are two impacts that I'm predicting right now. One is rip currents, of course. Second of all, I will say this. If you are in Puerto Rico, you know you have mountains, you have lift. If the storm ends up going a eyewall replacement cycle earlier than expected, if the inflow can give some moisture, maybe some showers and thunderstorms, maybe. But that depends on the structure of the storm at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
By the way, Kat, Rainbow Cane is Kat.
I know.
Yeah, that's me.
I know. Okay. All right. So, yeah, this is a very interesting situation. We're right here. Recon's going in. We should be getting a new update very shortly, but as time continues to go on, we'll have to keep an eye on it for sure.
But yeah,
thank you, Alex Baller, for the dono. $4.99. Best stream, best coverage.
Wait,
hold
on. What? Yo.
Thank you so much for
Yo,
the donation.
thank you very much. Wow. Shout out to Alex Baller.
Shout out.
Yeah, he came in clutch tonight. Maddie Bacchus, you should do his live stream with David. Yeah, I was actually on David's stream earlier, as a matter of fact.
Yes, and Taniel was also there, which Taniel is his friend, and I am his main helper of this channel also. So I am associated with Taniel's channel also.
Oh, nice. That's good.
One of them is help. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, the weather community. More crossovers than the MCU, except we've been around a lot longer. Okay, this is interesting. Looks like it's... Okay, I'm not sure what's going on, but it's bearing at 90 degrees at 0 knots. I'm not sure if that's where it's going.
Probably
or
a
not.
mesovortice. It probably ran into a mesovortice or something. That can be a major problem in strong storms.
Okay. Any more questions in the? Okay, we got a new question. Hey Pat, you think it's going to keep a westward track like we talked about? Are there other storms that could push it more to the east coast? Well, to be honest with you guys, I'm not 100% sure if it's gonna.
We don't know.
Yeah, it's too early to tell. It's definitely making a noticeable jog towards the west, like less of a west-northwest, more of a westward turn over the last 30 minutes. We're gonna have to keep an eye on it because the big thing we saw before going into this is this thing was moving due west for about 500 miles instead of west-northwest. And now, if it's that was like a couple of days ago, and it was at the 13-degree. It was hugging the 13-degree line. So, yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on it for sure.
We will say though that the biggest, if it does go north, the biggest question is there are 5 parts to this whole system. Can you believe it?
All right.
5 parts. The first part is a trough piece located in northwestern Alaska. A second piece will go into Central California and move east. The third part of the puzzle is actually the hurricane in the East Pacific that the remains will collide with the trough. The fourth aspect is when the trough comes to the east, how strong will that high be? And in order to figure that out, we need to figure out how strong the tropical storm near Cape Verde will be.
Also, really quick,
So
I just want to interrupt you real
puzzle.
quick, Tristan. Go
ahead.
F YouTube says or donates $5. Thank you.
Wow. Yeah. Also, we're getting a lot more
name
viewers
you,
in. Yeah, we're getting a lot more viewers in as well. We're up to 350. That is incredible. Yeah, it looks like David's stream just ended, and everyone who is over there is coming over here. So thank you very much, very much. Before we continue, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. That'd be much appreciated. So,
yes.
Anyway, I am just seeing if there's any more information real quick. I'm gonna be glad.
That's fine. Alan, you've been pretty quiet so far. What's your take on all this big stuff that's going on? Also, SPC Master is now in. What's going on, dude?
Well, just looking at what I've been seeing from recon, we likely have a Category 5 right now. But...
Yeah, we're looking at it.
Well, it's close, that's for sure.
Yeah.
It's very close.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend was just looking at the data and stuff, and he's just like, yeah, we probably have 160 mile an hour storm right now.
Honestly, here's what I think they could do, and I think this would be the smart call.
What?
I think they could do 160 by 11, and the reason why is because even if it's not completely 160 by then, they will either have to round it, or by 5 a.m. it will be stronger than expected because of how Lee has done its strengthening.
Yeah.
That could be a situation also.
Yeah.
And did someone say we had some satellite estimates of 160? I heard that. I don't know if that's
I gotta disagree a little bit, Tristan. I think they go 155 at 11.
Same here. Unless they find huge data that they.
Yeah, part of that's because of the ATCF. Part of that is because the recon didn't quite support 140 knots, 160 miles per hour.
They didn't go fully through that.
And part of that is because just simply they can just fix it in off season. This isn't like it's about to affect land.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, they can definitely do that. All right. This is all right. So this is what we have. Okay. If you guys have any questions in the chat, feel free to ask ask them. We'll go ahead and start answering them. Blue, if you could keep an eye out for for them while we keep an eye on the recon.
All right. Well, the first thing I'm going to say is Matthew Howell. You're going to get the classic NWS no answer there. With what you
310 would basically be Jupiter's Great Red Spot.
No, that's
play on that storm.
777 main could.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay.
Let me see. I do have a little bit of information.
Not to mention, all of the intensity guidance models now say it's going to be a Cat 5. Most of them are going between 150 and 165 knots, which is pretty strong.
Let me calculate that.
One of them even gets up to 175 knots, which is 205 miles an hour. So
I didn't want to bring that up.
No, we didn't want to bring that up. Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen. I'm going to be brutally honest when I say that. I don't think it's...
that I'm very interested in this system is that so far...
The reason why I don't think that is going to happen is because it's only one intensity guidance model, and it's also a pretty big outlier.
Yeah, that's
most of them are going between 165 knots and 150 knots.
Yeah,
I didn't want to bring that up.
Yeah, we
did.
It would
cause panic.
Yeah.
I know you probably didn't
over
want
the open
to.
ocean was our point.
Yeah,
I know you probably didn't want to, but it's always good to bring up every single little bit of thing.
Yeah, it just feels a bit outlandish to bring that up, in my opinion. I understand the intent, but we're trying to keep everybody calm here because there's a lot of uncertainty with the storm. Typically, with the track and everything like that, we could say, okay, this is getting strong, but we know where it's going. Now, because of how many wobbles and how many times it's bobbed and weaved, we don't know what's going on. So that's why we didn't want to bring that up. Again, appreciate the intentions, but
remember, intensity models don't count for one thing: eyewall replacement cycle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why right now it could be 155, and then we're thinking, oh, it's 160, and suddenly eyewall replacement cycle.
There are
systems that strengthen this fast. They can sometimes want to make their eyewall stronger. That is actually not that's not a good scenario, though. I don't like when hurricanes do repeated eyewall replacement cycles, especially if this thing's moving more west, because Hurricane Irma did that. It kept switching between 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, and then suddenly, boom, it exploded. So I would rather this thing do whatever it wants now and then do multiple eyewall replacement cycles. I think that would be somewhat better in terms of intensity for any landmass in its way.
The only problem with that is that that will greatly expand the storm in size, and that will push the wind wind field out, and maybe even make it a worse storm surge threat if it does get to land.
I was just about to say surge. Yeah.
The HAFS models both show an eyewall replacement cycle happening in about 3.5 days, and then the storm starts to weaken a little bit.
Yeah.
Then
hold on, repeat that. The normal rate of an intensifying storm like this is 24 hours to 2 days. 3.5?
Yes, 3.5.
Wait,
shows about 84 hours out.
No, I'm gonna. Okay, go ahead and continue. Then I'm gonna interject.
And then the storm starts to weaken quite a bit, and it starts to expand quite a bit too.
Okay, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and interject when I say that. I don't think that's going to happen that slowly. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry, but I don't think that's going to happen unless this thing somehow happens to how do I put this lightly? Just maintain its structure like Irma did. But even then, that's inevitable. I'm just hoping an eyewall replacement cycle, if it does happen, it doesn't affect any land when it pushes all that wind out. But I do think an ERC is possible in the next 24 hours, primarily due to how fast this thing is strengthening.
how much has shear grown over Lee? I feel like this is a little bit of a mesoscale, little mistake in the forecast.
MM2 blocks
Because it was supposed to be
could it
clear.
Okay.
MM2 blocks says could it get to 175 to 200 miles per hour? 175 to even 185 is possible and even likely. 200 miles per hour is very unlikely to
It's very unlikely unless.
Okay,
Go
looks
ahead.
like they're starting to make their pass in the eyeball. Looks like the recon data is a bit wonky. I think they had to avoid a meso, but now they're going into the eyeball. Just giving you a heads up. They're about to.
they did.
Oh God, a meso. Oh, God, I already don't like the sound of that.
Yeah.
Far away.
Not only that, but it's
That's
got
pretty
lots of
far out
eyewall.
from the eyewall.
The storm also has a lot of eyewall lightning too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I go ahead.
Okay. What are the odds of that Lee will make it to the Bahamas? I don't. I'm not going to give a numerical estimate, but if you guys want to go ahead, go ahead.
I'll give it a respectful 30% chance.
Let's play devil's advocate and say what possibilities, and not give a percent. That's what I think we should do.
Don't know yet. I don't know yet. I don't think that we know enough to really say don't go there or not.
Yeah.
Based on the
one thing
NHC
we are
cone,
worried about.
No, the National Hurricane Center does have its cone kind of headed towards the northern Bahamas, but I kind of have a feeling by that time it will probably make some sort of turn more northward.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't.
We don't know. Yeah.
I am not confident enough to say something specific yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm checking the last few frames of the satellite just to make sure. SPC Master, are you noticing a bit more of a westward jog with this system? Because I'm not sure if I'm... Yeah.
Let me just load up the frames.
All right. In the meantime... Yeah.
I have a quick question about Lee right now. Wasn't the best condition supposed to be tomorrow and not today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that means this year was actually kind of part of the forecast, which means Lee overperformed in a supposed to be sheer environment. That's not a good sign.
Yeah, that's not a good sign at all. That's especially with the best conditions coming up over the weekend.
Yes, it actually kind of has shifted a bit westward. I am noticing that.
Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, we'll have to monitor that over the next while. But more hurricane reconnaissance is going in. Hopefully, we get some more information. Already, we're finding flight level winds of 75 knots, and we're not even near in the eyewall yet. SFMR data is around 62. So I'm thinking the hurricane force winds may have expanded just a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah.
Real quick, I just want to say, because I never got to say my take on the Bahamas.
Oh, go ahead.
You got to keep in mind the Bahamas, they're kind of shaped the way this thing's going to be approaching it at kind of a parallel angle. So it would have to shift to the west more so, and I mean a lot to the west, to be able to hit them, like due west.
Yeah.
Whereas this thing's going to be heading northwest. Or to even northwest for a bit. I really think you could maybe get a stray outer band, but that'd be about it. And also, obviously, rip currents.
Yeah.
I will say, if eyewall replacement cycles do go through, I could see if, depending how west it goes, maybe some tropical storm watches at best. But that's so far out, we don't know when it's going to turn north. So we're not even going to bet on that right now. But if anything for the Bahamas, I do think one or two of the islands, in the worst case scenario right now, could get tropical storm watches respectfully.
Okay.
Also, holy shit, we have 541 people watching.
Yeah, that's incredible.
Hello,
that is incredible. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new. It really helps us out. We really appreciate it. It really means a lot to us that you are tuning in and joining us. So, yeah, this is crazy. But anyway, yeah, if you have any more questions, we got a question right here. On the latest GFS run, there looks like another system, weirdly enough, seems to form above Puerto Rico. I know that's way far out in advance. Any thoughts? Yeah, disregard it for now. Disregard it for now.
Take it with a very, very small grain of salt.
Very large.
Actually, the Climate Prediction Center does say Cape Verde will get more active. I do want to do my analysis on this. I've been noticing this. The problem with that system is that when you have Lee and the other subtropical system both having inflow, that can create a lot more shear. So in that case scenario, if it does develop, the environment could look a little more potent than it actually is due to the shear of both systems. But since Cape Verde systems have been doing really well in September, it's a roll of the dice. And because it's Cape Verde, I would like to see model trends, but I know at some point another system could form in Cape Verde. But that's
remember, early on before the season started, the National Hurricane Center did warn us of these Cape Verde storms and how we could have very long track, powerful hurricanes like Hurricane Irma later on in the season due to that very active, above average West African monsoon season. So that's part of this right here.
For sure.
I will say that we also got some very unfortunate news for the Atlantic hurricane season. This is bad.
We're already at the average amount of major hurricanes and named storms before the peak of the hurricane season.
Yeah.
That tells you how active the season is.
Like 2 days. So this is technically where it's supposed to start really getting active. But the part that scares me is that El Nino may not work until mid-November due to the MJO by the Climate Prediction Center.
Are you serious?
Which is when the season is pretty much over.
They did the new update saying that this El Nino is more like a jinx El Nino, meaning that it looks like an El Nino in some of its patterns, but it's not a full El Nino. That's why the Gyre was able to do a lot more with Adelia this year than in an El Nino year.
Yeah.
Not only that, but the Atlantic warmed up very quickly, and the El Nino was too slow for it to even take effect onto the Atlantic at all.
Again, as I said on a call earlier with some friends, let's call it what it is. It's basically I don't know if it hasn't been called yet, but like we're probably going to look at this looking back and say that was kind of a Madoki El Nino. Let's call it what it is.
It's like a Madoki, but it's not a Madoki.
Yeah, okay. We got some more questions here. How certain are we that the North Turn will take place before the Bahamas? Okay, again, we already addressed this. It's going to really depend on that ridge, and it's going to depend on that trough in the Midwestern United States. As for how certain, we're not giving any numerical estimates here. We're just not going to do that because there's so much unpredictability. Heck, this system's jogging to the west right now, and we weren't expecting this at all. Just to clear that up.
Though, if you're in the Bahamas, just in case, and you should have done this before June, get your hurricane kits ready. You never know what something could change.
Yep.
Exactly. I've been warning people about that even before the season started in my server when I've been making my forecast for the season. I've always said, now is the time to be prepared. Get your hurricane kits ready. Hurricanes can and do kill people.
Okay.
It's just a thing.
Okay,
you gotta be ready.
Okay, can we confirm or deny that there are 70-foot swells in the storm right now? Someone on chat saying that.
I don't know.
They did confirm 30-foot. They did confirm 30-foot swells.
I know exactly what to call for. The Ocean Prediction Center. Let's go.
I don't know where
I see significant sea height.
So we have another recon come in.
Okay.
They just went in. They got flight level winds of 150 knots.
Wait.
Looks like 147 knots.
Let me. I just got it. Okay. Looks like flight level winds. Yeah, around. I'm not 100% sure.
I'm not 100% sure, but I'll say 147 knots just to be safe.
Yeah, about
They
147.
have the SFMR at 155 knots. That's probably overestimated, but we probably have a Cat 5 based on the SFMR.
Yeah, SFMR.
But if it's overestimated and we have flight level winds to 150, that would still be 160.
Hold on, timeout. One person at a time.
Oh.
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I'll say based on the flight level, which is probably, I'm going to guesstimate around 147 knots based on that line. And the SFMR, which is 155 knots, which I guarantee you, way overestimated. I'm going to guesstimate 160 miles an hour. Now, this is unofficial.
Unofficial.
That would make it a Cat 5 if that is correct.
Okay, we'll have to wait for the drops in to get in. Once we get that data, we'll know what's going on. But based on satellite, it does look the northwest eyeball does look like the strongest on cloud on infrared so far. So that's interesting. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are tuning in, we have breaking news right here. Flight level winds around 147 knots, SFMRs of 156, which, if that verified, that would make it a Cat 5 easily. But I think it's overdoing it for now. I think we're gonna see a drops, and we'll have to wait and see when it comes to that. But yeah, this is a strengthening storm. Hopefully, we can get some extrapolated pressure with this, so that way we have an idea of what is going on. This pressure's been kind of jumbled.
Is Jova Cat 5 right now? It was yesterday. It's not anymore. It's weekend back.
Yep.
Jova was a beautiful Category 5, honestly.
Okay, I just got some.
Oh, I will note Jova is going pinhole again. It looks like.
Okay.
Trying to.
All right, All right, who want SPC Master? What's going on? Oh, Tristan, do you want to say something? I'm not sure.
So 145 knots was the estimate, and by the angle of where you measure the graph, that'll be 166.863, which will be 165 miles per hour in the upper levels. So if it is 155 and they're doing too much, Cat 5.
Yeah, easily. We'll have to wait for the drops in to come in, though, just to make sure. Yeah.
I really want to see that the pressure.
I'm sorry?
I really wanted to see what their pressure was when they were flying through it, but it doesn't look like it was measured or anything, or they just gotta update it and update with it or something. You know, they've been having some issues with their data uploads.
Yeah, they have been. Hopefully we get an extrapolated pressure because we need that to get an idea of what's going on. So
I have a feeling its pressure is probably around 925.
It was at 9:30. Okay, it was around 9:30 or so, about an hour ago.
9:28 last time they went through.
Yeah.
I will say the estimated surface wind. I apologize. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The estimated surface wind is actually 160 knots. So even if it is a little too much, it's a 5 by the math. But we'll have to wait for drop ons. But that might be it.
Yeah,
that might be the confirmation we're waiting for.
I don't think it's 160 at the surface. I'm being honest when I say that.
100%.
That's way too strong, especially with this. The pressure is too high for that as well. So
did you say 160 knots?
Yes.
That's 185 miles an hour.
That's estimated.
Yeah.
That's estimated.
160 knots. I thought you were saying miles per hour. I could see 160 miles per hour at the surface.
Yes, that's what I was saying. Even if it was too much, if you did the math, it would still be a Category 5 at this point. Yeah. However, I would love drops on data before we can confirm that.
Yeah.
I'm about 60-40 on it being Cat 5 right now, but this is all.
I'm not giving numerical chances. I'm waiting for the drop.
That's fair. I'm 60-40 personally.
Okay.
But it's very unofficial as of right now, obviously.
Yeah, we're getting the flight level wind. We're getting the flight level wind data that backs it up for sure. I want to check satellite. Yeah, satellite has this thing continuing to spike up. Already past Cat 5, or around 160 according to the satellite estimates from Dvorak. So, yeah, the adjusted's going up. The CI is going up considerably. It's just a waiting game once the drop comes in, and we'll have to wait and see what we'll get in the eye. Hopefully, the extrapolated pressure system works, so we can get an idea. But yeah, this is a very big situation going on with Lee, and yeah. Okay, what's going on? Oh, okay. Okay, never mind. Anyway, so yeah, that's our big situation coming on here. How likely do you think this could strengthen tomorrow?
Very likely.
It's likely, but it might it might undergo an ERC early, or it might max out tomorrow. That's
the National Hurricane Center says that short-term RI is still very high over
Yeah,
there.
I was about to say the eye, and they're not even fully in it yet. It's still spiking even higher than it did earlier when it was about 26. It's probably about 27 Celsius. Not even fully in the eye yet.
already.
Yeah.
What?
I will say this: the eye dryness earlier today. We were talking earlier today.
Yeah.
And some of the eye estimates of dryness had beaten typhoons with 180-mile-per-hour wind. So that's how we knew it was strengthening, because the eye was so dry that it was beating some of the West Pacific storms.
Not only that,
the Atlantic do that.
Not only that, but it almost right now it's currently rivaling Hurricane Dorian's record for the Atlantic for the driest North Atlantic hurricane eye.
What was the driest for Dorian, and what's it now?
I don't remember what it was.
Okay, that's fine. All right, but yeah, the eye is definitely still shrinking right now. Clear sign of intensification.
I think Dorian's was like negative. What was it, like around negative 13?
All right.
And this is at negative 11 right now.
Okay. All right. Well. All right, Tristan. What was up?
Earlier today, it was a negative 14.15 C.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So
okay.
yeah.
All right. So that's that. We're getting hopefully some more recon data very shortly. The next update should be very shortly. Okay, we have 577 people in the stream. Thank you for joining. Be sure to smash the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you are new. It helps us out and helps us get these streams out more. And we really appreciate all the support tonight. Okay, so so that's what we have. All right. What about the Caribbean? I don't. This thing's definitely not entering the Caribbean.
No,
it's too far. It's too far north at that point.
Yeah,
it would have to somehow dive way south, and that's not happening.
Yeah, no.
That's even less likely
with that subtropical ridge. It ain't going down there.
That's even less likely than the Gulf.
Yeah,
the Gulf is.
Blue, I sent you a picture of microwave imagery.
Could you please send it into live? Could you send it into live?
Yeah.
No,
it is beautiful.
Let's see it.
Live, no mic.
Yep.
That's amazing.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Beautiful.
What am I looking at right here exactly?
This is the microwave. This is the microwave 37G8, the passive microwave imagery.
All right, so could you explain to our audience what this means right here, what all this business means? I have it showed up for them.
It basically is liquid precipitation. It means passive microwave observations provide insight into the precipitation structure of precipitating systems. At this frequency, the ocean has low atomicity and therefore possesses low brightness temperatures.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so looks like looks like they got it. Looks like they got in. Okay, they got some new stuff from the area. Okay, they went to southeastern Iowa. They found flight level winds of about 125 knots, SFMRs of 120. So we'll have to wait and see.
Firewall is definitely weaker.
Yep, for sure. And yeah, for sure. Still have to monitor it. We're waiting on that drop to get here so we can have a better idea of what's going on. But yeah, thanks for sticking around, guys.
Yes, I'll still be here, by the way.
Yeah, that's fine. This is crazy right here. This is crazy.
If that's depending on how strong that southern eye wall is, may help with the 5 because remember the strongest part is the northeastern side.
Yep.
So if that southern side got intense really good, there's a really good chance that the northeast side decided to go bring those winds to the surface.
All right. Okay. All right. Thank you very much for the insight. Hopefully we get a new drop sent in pretty soon, so that way we get an idea of what's going on, especially in the northwestern eye wall. I'm thinking, yeah, this is a very compact eye wall for sure. Sure, the southeastern is a bit weaker, but it's still showing some support of at least Category 4 winds, according to flight level winds and SFMR. So
obviously,
yeah, that.
I am seeing something very worrying because right now there's shear over the system somewhat, right? This was expected.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and show that.
Friday and Saturday.
Yep.
What scares me is if it decides the eye wall replacement cycle now. That would be a horrible situation because if it completes it by tomorrow.
Yeah, we see where this is going.
Yeah, it's going to bomb out.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the wind shear map right now. It looks like, to some extent, it might actually be helping the storm because of the outflow.
That could be the case.
What's up,
real quick? For all the people that are saying Cat 6 doesn't exist.
Cat 6 doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't. Anyway, we got 600 concurrent viewers in the stream. Let's go. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We really appreciate all the support that's come out. Like the stream as always. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. And yeah, we'll continue to keep you updated of what's going on. We're going to check and see if they got anything. No drops yet. No new recon. It's a huge waiting game at this point. What we do know for sure is this thing is I wouldn't say rapidly, explosively intensifying. And it does appear as of now this thing is taking more of a jog towards the west, at least by a bit. But it might, we'll have to wait and see what happens over the next couple of frames.
Ooh, that eye really got smaller. Ooh, hold on.
Yeah.
Ooh, God. I'm seeing something that is concerning me.
What's up?
Go back and look at their altitude on that most recent recon pass.
All right.
In the
altitude?
Yeah, they dropped 1,000 feet in 30 seconds and then regained in 500 feet in another minute on the most recent pass.
Okay.
So what does that mean, Blue? Does that mean those
a lot of turbulence probably
finding...
hit a mezzo?
Oh.
Okay.
Yep. That's really bad. That means the storm is healthy, definitely.
1,000% healthy. But yeah, guys, you're getting it here. All right, let's go ahead and keep looking at this right here. I want to go ahead and look at some of the NHC stuff that they have right here. Is there anything in the discussion or the key messages that you guys want to emphasize to the audience? We have over 600 viewers right now.
If you expect this storm to have a easy prediction, no. We have so many players out in the field, and for our 600 viewers, we're going to explain the 5 players. Technically 6, because the first one is Lee is moving a little bit more west than expected, which can influence his future track.
All right.
There are going to be 3 parts that will transform into a trough or help a trough get stronger. One is the hurricane located in the East Pacific. The remnants will get into the trough. There's a second piece of energy in the Central Pacific that should be going to California. And then there's another piece in northwestern Alaska that should combine into the trough. As the trough moves eastward, there are now 2 things we need to watch. Number 1, Lee's a small system. Can it dodge the trough? That's the first thing that comes to mind when we talk about small systems. It's a powerful but small system, and small systems can dodge troughs, especially if they move slow enough. If it does move north, then we have other questions. What will the tropical storm near Cape Verde do to the high pressure? If it doesn't do anything to the high, by the way, it might be a major hurricane by then. We'll have to see what future runs. What will that do to the high pressure and how that will do least track, because it has to go north because of the Coriolis effect. It can't move east if a high is stronger than it, because low pressures follow the wind flow of the high pressure.
Yep.
So those are the steering currents right now that we're monitoring. Also, if Lee gets stronger than expected.
Okay, time out. We got a new drop send in.
Go ahead.
Okay, drop in the northwestern eyeball. The drop at the surface is 134 knots.
Oh.
So it's verifying that high-end Cat 4. The winds at 949 millibars is 147 knots.
So this means is that the northwestern side
might
have done it. Northwestern or the north.
The northern half of the eyeball, essentially.
Might have done it. Those winds might be at the surface now, because that's really good intensification for sort of a side of the storm that normally doesn't get.
Okay, we got a new drop in the eye, too. 930 millibars.
I will note that the mean and the lowest 150 millibars is 142 knots.
Which that will be 142 knots, 2 miles per hour for our audience, would be 163 miles. Whoa.
What?
They could either keep it at 160 or they could round to 165, because the miles per hour for 142 knots is 163.411.
They're not even
out to 163,
Another
and then
thing
you would have to go to the right.
Another thing I will note real quick, that 930 pressure they got in the eye is with 20 knots of wind. So for every 10 knots of wind you have in the eye, you subtract a millibar.
So this is 928, essentially.
So it correlates about to 928 millibar, yeah.
Okay, that's some breaking news right there. Yeah, this thing is still going bonkers. Is it a Cat 5 yet? We don't know. It's too early to say.
There's a ton of evidence at this point, but we don't know.
Yeah, there's evidence for that. The flight level winds and SFMR data are there. Drops in data is just barely below that, but either way, it's still explosively intensifying. This thing is pretty much pulling a Matthew at this point, pulling in Maria at this point. So, yeah, this is crazy. I have not seen a storm intensify at this rate in a long time. So, yeah, that's pretty... That's not fun. And also the system is continuing to jog a bit more to the west, which already that's not good in itself, because my main concern in my videos from a couple of days ago is the further west this jogs, the higher chance some of the Antilles could see of an impact. Then it started moving more to the west-northwest, and now we're at 17 degrees and it's starting to move to the west again. We're not sure if this will hold or not, but I hope to God it doesn't. Because even a 2-degree a jog to the west longitude-wise will put the Antilles at that much more of a greater risk. We're not sure if it's going to get there or not, but that's just my main concern, and if you guys want to elaborate on that further, go ahead.
Also, really quick, good old Twitter, Category 5 is trending.
All right. Any evidence on Twitter that you want to show?
No, I mean, I'm just looking, and there's nothing I can see, but I'm just seeing some great satellite imagery for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm seeing one especially from that I'll post in chat here from 6:13 p.m. that shows it beautifully clearing out its eye.
Yeah.
I wish there was one more microwave imagery loop or scan before 11 o'clock so we could get the full details of its structure and everything, but it's not coming in right now.
All right. Okay,
This is a beautiful 12-hour time lapse of it clearing out its eye on the way from Category 1 to Category 4.
Yeah, holy crap. We have 700 people in the audience, so thanks for tuning in. Be sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions for us, feel free to type them into the chat, so that way we can answer them for you guys.
Started at it.
Yeah.
Like 4.26k subscribers already. We've already nearly gained 100 subscribers, by the way.
Yeah, at this point. Yeah. Okay. Do you think the Bahamas or Miami Miami, we're ruling that out at this point. The Bahamas, we're not 100% sure. How do you think New York is looking? I know it's a long way. It's too early to tell. I'm being honest when I say that. Okay. You can't deny these storms are both beautiful and mesmerizing to watch. Yeah, if this stayed out to sea, I'd agree with you 100%. But we're too uncertain at this point. Okay. All right. Okay, why is the southern half of the storm bubbling convection? I want to go ahead and take a look at this. I mean, that's what you typically see with these kinds of tropical systems right here. Like you're seeing at this point, you're seeing a buzzsaw at this point. You're seeing a buzzsaw, and you're seeing a lot of these clouds just rotate at a very, 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 very fast rate. So, yeah, that's kind of part of the reason, but also this thing is also intensifying at a very fast rate, so keep that in mind. Eyeball replacement cycle, soon you think we're seeing no evidence of that as of right now. What about Charleston? Go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Even if there was evidence right now, we don't have the latest microwave imagery to show or prove that right now. So we have, in terms of eyeball replacement cycle chances, technically recon could, because they have their own mobile radar, and sometimes on radar you can tell. Exactly. They can tell the NHC if there's an eyeball replacement cycle, but even then we would have to wait another hour. But by the structure of the storm, I ain't seeing really. If there is any, it would just be a merger. It would stop for a few hours, and then we'll go back to intensifying. In fact, that might even bomb it out. We don't want any cycle right now, actually. We would rather it bomb out first.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. All right. So, yeah, this thing, new recon's coming. Looks like the pressure is starting to, extrapolated pressure starting to get back. So that's some good news on that side. But holy hell, this has really escalated over the last hour. So that's pretty crazy, for sure. So
I want to see them get back to the northeast quadrant again, but in the next hour before the NHC update.
Oh, yeah, I concur with that 100%. Okay. Pat, thank you for giving us a great channel to watch. I found you through David Schlotthauer. Y'all are goats. Really appreciate that, Jessica. I really appreciate that. Updated track. NHC's not updating that till 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock Eastern. Can Nassau be affected, though? Is it close? It is close to Miami being ruled out. It's too early to tell. We're not sure what's going on. Hey, Pat, okay, should North Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland be worried about the storm? At this point, it's too early to tell. Yeah, it's going to depend on when this turns. Yeah, it's going to depend on when this turns. So, yeah, let's check the latest image that's coming in from here. Okay.
Yep. Pressure would be 928 millibars, by the way.
Yeah.
Yep. There you go.
What's going on?
Pressure would be 928 millibars, and that's a wind of 20 knots. That's not in the center.
Yeah, not in the straight center.
So 926, 925.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it looks to me over the last hour or so, this thing made a jog to the west.
Let me see the satellite, because
yeah, it's either doing
a lot of people get confused over more of the cloud top, because a lot of people are like, how come a lot of Category 5s only have...
I'm watching the eye. That's where I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the eye has gotten smaller.
For sure.
There is convection, but it seems to be not really wrapping around. I wonder why hurricanes that get near 5 do this. I've seen a lot of hurricanes that get near a 5 suddenly just stop wrapping convection around, or they just wrap their current convection around. I wonder if that is a sign of an eye wall replacement cycle, because I've seen it in some storms when they do this. We're gonna have to monitor and see.
Yeah,
which would be bad news, because if it did it quickly, then it would bomb out.
I mean, as of right now, we don't unfortunately have radar that goes far enough out to really confirm or deny this. So we're basically going off of satellite. I'll go ahead and pull up the visible shortwave to kind of see if we're seeing some potential inconsistencies. No, not even in satellite we're seeing that. So, yeah, we're not sure yet, but we do know for a fact that this is going to get intense. There's no.
Looks like the shear someone is starting to clear on the left side. I apologize. I can see sort of that left band sort of stop getting sheared.
The shear's clearing out?
I wonder if that little bit of shear is finally clearing out. Yep, I wonder.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Oh, there was a little bit of shear, and this thing is almost a Cat 5.
Yeah.
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, honestly, because in my opinion, it's not at the greatest water depth yet. We still remember near the Caribbean, it got very deep water. So the waters that it's heading towards you is not only the same temperature, but a bit deeper.
Yeah, also keep in mind, this just in the last 24 hours entered that 100 to 125 to 150 ocean heat content values. And that's what it's doing already with all that magic. So,
pardon me if I'm just having an internal crisis right now with... It had some shear and it's nearly a Cat 5 and only just entered this area as well.
Yep.
What?
Well,
yeah, but here's the thing that makes me worried. When is the eyewall replacement cycle? That's all going to depend not only on impact, but when it bombs out.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what's making me very worried right now.
Yeah, that's my concern. Let's say it starts the eyeball replacement cycle in the next couple of hours. Those typically take 18 to 24 hours to complete. And this isn't even in the best conditions yet. So, let's say that starts, and then it expands the wind field by a very decent rate, and it knocks down the intensity maybe by about 10 miles per hour or so. Because that kind of stuff is very typical in these kinds of systems. So,
unless it's a merger, then it would just halt it, and then it would bomb out. It wouldn't even suffer.
Oh, that's absolutely not.
Microwave imagery, but I can't get it, and that's driving me.
Yeah, if in fact, like, that would just make the storm worse in the long term. Short term, it would seem good, but in the long term, it would make things a lot worse because that expands the storm's diameter, it expands the wind field, it expands the eye. What's up?
That's bad. That's very bad, actually.
Yeah.
The 100 to 150, it's not actually on that.
Where is it?
It's on 50 to 75.
Wait.
So for the next 48 hours, it's only the 50 to 75. It's not until 72 hours it starts. I can send an image if you want on no mic.
What's up?
Hold on, I want to say something. Lillifeden 1, HARP is not, that's not a thing. That's, That's not, HARP does not control the weather. The government does not control the weather.
Yeah, that doesn't happen. Okay.
That doesn't happen. That's not how this works.
Yeah. Just anyway, that aside.
You directly control the weather.
All right, Eric, you have a question. You have a question.
I'm sorry,
what's up?
I'm sorry if I get off track and have to do that, but like, it's things like that, little things. That's one of my pet peeves is when people are like HARP. I'm sorry.
Let's just avoid those who are saying that, and let's just get back into this. Let's just get back into this. So, I know it's tempting to look at right there, but right now my main focus is to get all the information out for everyone tuned in. So, okay, all right.
But on the live chat, I didn't send what I was very scared about. Is that this is their category 5 only at 50 to 75. It's not at the 75 to 100 to 150 yet. That occurred between 48 and 96 hours.
Okay, I think Silverback might want to. I'm gonna check. I'm gonna check real quick. Yeah, that was about 45 minutes ago. Anyway, Blue, could you see if Silverback still wants to join? Because he DM'd me.
Hold on.
Yeah. Weather Senator Nazario's in here. Swimming pool, bomb out, bombogenesis. Substantial deepening of a low-pressure center in a short period of time. That's crazy. Okay, that's cool. Nazario, if you want to come on here, join my Discord server and talk about this. Just join the Discord server. We can get the roles and get you affiliated. I've talked with you before. We've done lives before, so yeah, if you want to give some insight, just let us know. Anyway, yeah.
So who did you say?
See if Silverback wants to join, and yeah. Okay, and while Blue's working on that, yeah, this has been a very, very, very interesting night for sure. Yeah. So, okay, we got. Okay, never mind. We don't have a new drop, unfortunately. I want to see a drop on that southeastern eye wall, to be honest with you. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, they confirmed the 930, which would be lower than maybe 928, depending on the location where the NHC wants to do the pressure. So, so they'll either go with 930 or they'll go a little bit lower here.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's the situation we have going on. But yeah, this has been a very incredible stream so far. We're going to be on for a bit longer so that way we can get some more hurricane reconnaissance and some information out. Already down to
probably at least till the NHC update in an hour, I would think.
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh, also get the upgrade. We'll also get the update near to Cape Verde Islands also. So we got to get something.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, this has been a very interesting situation. So, okay. Yeah. Anyway, you guys want to say anything in regards to this?
Anything in regards to this? No, just kidding.
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to.
I know.
I will say this. You need to pay attention to your forecast very carefully. If you are in the Caribbean, if you are in the Bahamas, the East Coast of the United States, definitely Bermuda and Canada if those models continue to shift to the north. Everybody should be paying attention to this one.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, okay. So I'm sorry if I'm a bit flustered right now. There's just a lot of information that's coming in that really kind of is pretty much confirming what's going on in this system. But yeah, NHC discussion. First sentence, Lee continues to strengthen an exceptional rate. There's no question about that. Do we know if there's any more Hurricane Hunter reconnaissance missions going in anytime soon? Let's see. Her aircraft reconnaissance for tomorrow. Okay, they're scheduling 4 flights tomorrow into Hurricane Lee. Let's see if they're issuing... I think they're just only doing the one for tonight. I think...
They're likely just going to keep doing Lee since it's the closest. They'll likely have to use satellite evidence for the one near the Cape Verde Islands because it's just too far away.
Yeah, well, if we go ahead and zoom out on this, if we go ahead and zoom out with the satellite imagery to the Central Atlantic, yeah, that's pretty much where Lee is in relation to everything. So... Yep.
And just to the right off the screen is the remnants of Katia. And then just to the right of that, you got the other tropical storm near Cape Verde. So actually we got a remnant and a tropical storm.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We have a buzzsaw and then a new tropical storm forming. That's pretty good. So
also Adelia is still alive near Canada. Yeah, I'm sick and tired of saying that name, but she's still alive.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, it looks like this thing did make a jog to the west, but it looks like it's starting to move a bit more to the west-northwest over the last couple of frames. So, Yeah.
See, I don't understand the cloud. If it's strengthening, why are they going down? Is that the diurnal cycle?
What? Oh, I'm not 100% sure. Like, I've seen hurricanes do this before, and they've had no issue with intensity or no issue with strengthening until it gets to the
It might
eye wall.
just be an Atlantic thing. It might just be an Atlantic thing.
Yeah, this
honestly.
isn't the situation where Typhoon Haiyan's over there. So yeah.
Yeah.
I know some people in chat are saying, "Oh, it's moving west more than west northwest." I'll wait an extra 20 minutes to kind of make that judgment because it is.
I think.
What's
I
up?
was gonna say those little movements to the west. I think there's actually wobbles because after the little bit of a west wobble, it does continue moving a little bit north of west.
Yeah, that's a wobble right there. I'd say of about maybe 20 to I'd say a wobble about 30 miles or so. So that's interesting for sure. And this kind of stuff typically happens when you have very explosive intensification right here. You don't know where a wobble of 30 miles can mean a lot. It can mean a little and it can mean a lot. So,
yep.
Yeah, also this eye is still shrinking more and more. I'm not sure if you guys are noticing that.
We are noticing that. The problem is there are two situations where that happens. One, it's just about the bomb out again. It just doesn't care.
Yeah.
And then number two, it actually sometimes eyes go smaller when they try to do an eye wall replacement cycle. That's why I'm interested in the microwave.
Yeah, that's what Sam did. That's what Sam did in 2021. It got smaller and then it just absolutely just.
That's what Adalia did actually too. Right before eye wall replacement cycle, her eye got a little smaller.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing from this. Keeping an eye on it for sure. Let's go ahead and take a. Okay.
And I've actually got a ton of questions because I actually predicted Adalia's strength at 130 days ago because I knew the structure. And I learned from Ian how troughs influence it. And even though it was a Category 4 by recon, a lot of people that were looking at the damage were like, well, why did it only really do Cat 2 damage? And I was like, first off, it's the Big Bend. There's no such thing as just Cat 2 damage.
Yeah, this isn't a tornado. This isn't a tornado.
It could look like Cat 4 storm surge because of how the water funnels in. So first off, it didn't matter what intensity it was. It would have done horrible damage anyway. Luckily, it came at a low tide. So.
Yeah, that's some good news. Yeah.
And then second of all, land takes 20% of the wind field. Once it's off the coast, you subtract 20% from the official wind field. But then she was under an eye wall replacement cycle. So what tends to happen, we saw this in Dahlia, is that right before the eye wall replacement cycle, she got a small boost to 130, which is why we saw that last big convection burst for her landfall. But because of land plus the eye wall replacement cycle weakening her, she dropped significantly. That's what happens in tropical cyclones. So for people wanting an explanation of why Dahlia did a lot less damage than expected, it was just basically a matter of luck in its structure and the luck of the timing.
Yeah, and the fact that this was a rural area as well.
Yes.
But anyway.
But if anyone's curious about that, that is why.
Yeah, but yeah, this Idalia stuff that's going on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, layman's terms, dramatic strengthening in a short period of time from Weather Center Nazario. So, yeah, thank you very much for that. But yeah, this is quite the situation we have gotten ourselves. We still have 600 concurrent viewers, so thank you very much for tuning in. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to this channel if you are new, and if you want to come hang out with us, or maybe even get to know some of the behind the scenes and how we do this stuff, come join the Storms United Discord server. It is in the pinned chat below, so feel free to do that.
Dan, I'm responding to a comment, cost like 2 billion damage. I think it went to, I heard reports that it was kind of like an Isaiah situation where it's around 5 billion now. They might have raised it between 2 to 5 billion. And yes, it could have just killed one person, but I always say this in the weather community. One death is all it takes to change a community.
Oh, of course.
Even one death is unacceptable.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like it's about to go towards the northeastern eyeball again. So, yeah. we'll have to get a new reading from that. So, okay. All right, so...
I wish I had microwave. It did microwave passes recently on the East Pacific storm, but I really need a lead one to understand what's going on inside it or not.
Yeah, it looks like the satellite imagery is, at least the adjusted, is keeping it at Cat 5. The CI is continuing to bring it up further and further. We're up to about 132 knots or so from the CI, which is the blue line. The adjusted is the green line, for those of you who do not know. So, yeah, that just shows you how quickly this rapidly intensified. So, yeah, that's...
Someone said just buy a microwave. Microwave imagery is something where you look inside a hurricane system. We're not talking about microwaves where you cook food.
Yeah.
This is imagery of inside the structure of the storm, where you can actually see, is there a band that's coming towards it that might make a second eye wall? Is the inner eye wall dying? What are the bands looking like? What is the inner structure? It's not something to cook food with. It's actually very important technology for calling eye wall replacement cycles besides recon.
Yeah, pretty much. This isn't the regular mic. It uses the same technology, but it doesn't use any of the stuff. Yeah, but it doesn't use it for, yeah. Okay.
I mean, I wish it cooked food for me too. That would be great. Seriously.
Yeah.
It is a very important.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, people are thinking about a microwave. Yeah, we're moving past that. Also, latest
Hot Pocket too.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, latest satellite imagery is coming in. Does still hold that very strong ring for sure. Just maybe it's concentrating itself a bit more. So, yeah,
it is a small system, so sometimes even low cloud tops could actually need strengthening. It may not matter for this system.
I mean, look at Delta for an example back in 2020. Like, I don't think that got to like -70. I don't think it barely got to -70. I couldn't even see the eye on satellite. Yet it was there on microwave. So, yeah,
it was so small it killed its own structure.
Yeah, but yeah, this thing is a buzzsaw right now. So, an eyewall replacement cycle could definitely destroy the structure of this. So,
Living as I live in Alaska, will it hit us? No, it's all the way in the Atlantic.
Yeah, we know.
This is not going to hit Alaska.
The eyewall, this is a fun comment. The eyewall looks like Yankee Stadium. Kind of, yeah. It has that stadium effect for sure.
Yes.
Kind of.
It has that stadium effect for sure. So, yeah. So that's a pretty fun weather comment right there. Stadium effect is basically when the eyewall kind of looks like a bit of a stadium from satellite imagery. It's actually pretty cool to see once it's completely cleared out and once it's completely symmetrical. So, yeah, that's something to nerd out about. Hurricane.
Dan said the GFS seems accurate right now. For people that only pay attention to one model, if we're going to do model comparisons for Adalia, for example, the closest model was actually the Korean model and not any of the normal models.
Yeah.
So any model could get this right. That's why you look at all the consistencies, and then you put them all together, and then you have how many models are going this way, what's the percent of each direction, and then combine it into a consensus. That's how the NHC makes their tracks. And that's why there's a cone of uncertainty.
For sure. That's pretty much what we can say with that. At this point, it's a bit of an unnerving quiet. The advisory comes out in 45 minutes. We have recon going in. Hopefully we get one final pass before that. So, yeah, this is going to be a big situation once we get the NHC advisory. I'm thinking they're going to hold at 155, to be honest.
I can see them going, especially with a lot more evidence of a 5, and since likely in a few hours it's just going to be a 5 anyway, yeah. I can see them, especially with the next pass, just going for 5.
Oh, yeah, at this point, satellite estimates support it. We'll have to see what recon says, and maybe we'll see if those winds start to mix down a bit more towards the surface. But yeah, this system looks like it's still kind of jogging towards the west, but a couple of frames have it kind of wobbling a bit more and more to the north. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. But yeah, I'll go ahead. Yeah, definitely showed that. I mean, it could be due to the fact that the eye wall is still slowly starting to shrink, but this may I'm starting to think that it is starting to move more towards it's moving more northerly than it was like 30 minutes ago. So, only time will tell. Is Lee expected to hit anywhere? I saw some models saying it could hit New York sometime next week. It's too early to tell at this point. So, yeah,
and we don't even know if it's going to go north because there's just so many steering currents and stuff that has to come together.
For sure. Yeah. This has been quite the stream we've had. We still have. Yeah.
Okay, so wind speed at 10 seconds. I saw this confirmed from a news station, actually.
All right.
10-second winds from recon that we don't know if it's flight level or surface. It doesn't say. But I'm thinking this is just a little bit above the surface because of recent drops-ons from a bit earlier. 181 miles an hour. And if that is 10-second wind at their altitude, that definitely could support 160 on the ground in some places in the storm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Is that at flight level or like
it doesn't say. That's the scary part. That's the only part that I'm hoping I can actually put it on the live.
Yeah, go ahead and put it on live, no mic. And
Frequency says with $5 dono, Delta hit my city right after Laura in 2020. Thinks are still under construction.
Oh, dang! Thanks for the donation. Thanks for the donation.
And I'm sorry that you had to go through all that, Frequency. Yeah. I'm really sorry, and I'm sorry for butchering your name as well.
Yeah, we apologize for that, but we really appreciate the donation. It really helps us continue to keep running. So, shout out to frequency. Shout out to you, man. I appreciate that. I don't know if I butchered your name or not, but yeah. So anyway, yeah.
I'm seeing some I'm trying to look for information, and all I'm seeing is people doing highway memes of Lee, like it goes west instead of north, those type of memes with the signs. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, from a couple of days ago, I remember that, but that's besides the point. I did do some math, and if this is at flight level 181 miles an hour, which is probable at this point, that equates to about 160 on the ground, so that definitely could support Cat 5 for sure. So,
oh yeah, it likely does because I was just reading something and I remember a principle from physics that applied to this called the conservation of angular momentum.
Yep.
It's kind of like a figure skater.
Yeah.
When she pulls her arms in, she spins faster. So if this is not going through an eyewall replacement cycle, this might be a sign that Lee is still bombing out.
For sure. Okay. Yeah, you guys have any question in the chat? We'd be happy to take them. So, just joining, are the jogs... Okay, are the jogs to the west you mentioned a few times a, quote, concern? Potentially, if it keeps jogging to the west, yes. But at the same time, it's a bit early. So, yeah. Could this get to 200 miles an hour? Most likely not. I already covered this earlier. In order for it to get to 200, it would have to use up a lot of energy, and it would we'd have to have the same conditions as Patricia, essentially. So
Patricia, or something like in the Westpac that happens, like it'd be like a once in a generation storm.
Yeah, that would pretty much be it right there. And at this point, I do not see any conclusive evidence that will support that, at least in the Atlantic. So
the closest was Hurricane Allen and Wilma. The only chance you would ever have, and that's a very tiny chance, is the Caribbean Sea.
Yeah, the OHC there is absolutely there. How fast is the storm moving? Okay, we're going to go ahead and pull it up right here. Public advisory had this moving at 15 miles per hour, so it's about 14 to 16 miles an hour, give or that's the margin of error we have right there. So that's how fast this thing is moving.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
So I don't have recent microwave imagery, but I saw some microwave imagery from a few hours ago. I'm reading the structure. No, I'm not seeing a IWOL replacement cycle, because in order for that to happen, first of all, you would need multiple bands. And this thing, in a way, it's kind of really circular. It's almost, I forgot the term of the hurricane where it's almost no band.
Yeah.
Annular.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. New question: is it going to slow down as it starts to turn? When it turns to the north, most likely at this point.
It will slow down at first, and then because of the Coriolis effect and forcing, and because of some baroclinic forcing that starts happening as it gets more north, it can move faster right after that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does slow down at first.
Yeah. Why is recon taking a different path than usual? It's really not. It's taking that same X pattern as it usually is.
No, there is a little bit. It's turning inward a little bit.
It's dodging mesovortices.
Wait, what?
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, most likely mesos at this point. They've been a huge pain in their butts at that point. Yeah. Usually, yeah.
I'm very curious on the lightning. Let me see that lightning for a minute.
Could also be, alternatively, racing to get to the northeastern eye wall as quickly as possible.
Before the advisory, yeah. How confident are you that Lee will not shift more to the south and get dangerously close to Puerto Rico? Well,
very, very confident.
Yeah, at this point, like if it wanted, I'm going to give a kind of a more synoptic look at this just for you guys to take a look at. Synoptic basically means larger scale. In order for it to hit for Puerto Rico, it would have to move basically due west at that point, and then like where it's been generally going is about west northwest. So, yeah, if in order for it to happen, it would have to move due west all the way to the Antilles. So, and considering if we're taking a look at a closer scale, it's still gaining some latitude. That's not happening. So, yeah. Is recon data live? Yes, it is very much live, and it's very much kicking around in there.
It updates normally every 10 minutes on Tropical Tippet. It can take longer sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, any more questions, guys? We're going to be here for at least until the next recon pass.
I got some good news. I might actually have something for lightning. See if the eyeball is still as intense as ever. Let me see if I can get it.
Okay, current pressure right now, based off of what we're seeing, 928 from what we're taking a look at. Worst case, take the same path as the 1938 New England hurricane or something similar. I'm not 100% sure. It's too early to say at this point. But I know when
lightning.
Go ahead. Oh. What's up?
This had endless lightning for the last few hours in its eye wall. Literally endless. I haven't seen no spark of lightning, and I sent it on No Live. The loop I'm looking at.
Let me see that. Okay, I'm looking at that. Yeah, I'm looking at that. Is this for the goes east right here?
Yes.
All right, we'll go ahead and pull that up real quickly. Oh yeah, that's quite a bit of.
And then play the loop the last 24 hours. It is 24 hours. It should start playing. Yep, look at that.
24.
Just endless lightning in the eye wall.
Yeah.
The 24-hour loop.
Where's the 24-hour loop? Where is the 24-hour loop?
It's already on that, but you can change it if you want. So
Dang.
If you go to the arrow,
yeah,
you can do like 12 hours. You can do like 24, etc.
Yeah, that's 24 frames.
Hours, definitely Oh,
Yeah, that's 24 frames. Yeah.
That's my bad. I was
okay, but yeah, there's
if you
been.
want to go to 12,
yeah.
That will show definitely how good the lightning has been.
Yeah, the lightning's been very intense for sure.
And
okay.
for people that may be like, why is there lightning in a tropical system? The only three ways you can get it is one, the outer bands where there might be supercells. Those are also could be your tornado producers, depending on the size of the storm and depending on landfall. The second way is dry air in the storm, or the third way, which is around the eye wall, as if it's rapidly intensifying. And sometimes, we haven't had this with Lee yet, but we had it with Adalia.
Yeah.
You can have small bits of hail on the upper levels, or at least Doppler radar could sometimes think that is large hail, because that's how good the convection burst can be in a tropical cyclone.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Are we 100% positive this is going to head north? It's according to the long-range models, yes, but there's been so many deviations from its track. We'll have to keep an eye on it for sure. Okay. 2-point question. If it picks up speed and slides more to the west in the Gulf, can it grow bigger? First of all, this thing is not getting into the Gulf. It can't
go into the Gulf unless it dodged the trough completely. And even then the Coriolis effect would most likely force it up north.
It's too late at this point. What happened to Recon Mission 1? Let me see.
It had errors earlier. That's why 2 is in there.
All right, that's good. That's good. Oh, it's not good, but yeah, that explains it. Okay, so all right, so at this point, we're just taking. Okay, when will we get an eyeball? When will we get eyeball replacements? All over the cycle. Okay, yeah. Okay, never mind. That's a statement, not a question. Will this hit the Maritimes or the Atlantic Canada? Long-range models kind of get there, but it's too early to tell. So
we don't know when the turn's gonna be because there's so many players.
Okay, someone's saying when they do eyeball replacements, they tend to shift west. Can we confirm or deny that?
Eyeball replacement cycles will not do anything to the steering currents. In fact, Hurricane Dorian had somewhat of an eyeball replacement cycle stationary on the Bahamas. So
exactly.
In Hurricane France's cases, however, when it had an eyeball replacement cycle, it did sort of force it west because its eye got too large. So I guess it depends on the size of the storm and what the circumstances of the mesoscale are. But most of the time, it will not influence it going any direction.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Weather Setter Nazario. In case you didn't see, I made you a mod on the for the chat. So, yeah, that's so. Just wanted to let you know about that. So, yeah. Anyway, okay. So, yeah. So, okay. So anyway, if we have any more questions in the chat, could this impact Halifax? Too early to tell.
Depends
at this
on the
point.
turns at the north again, and depends on the high. But we don't know that yet. We're gonna have to wait a few more days for more recon data.
Yeah. All right.
I'm feeling a little bit sick. I might have to get off.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Do what you need to do.
See you guys.
All right. Bye, Blue.
See you.
All right. So that's Blue coming off. Well, okay. So the next update's coming up pretty soon with the recon. We'll hopefully get an idea of what's going on. So, Tristan, what are you thinking so far with everything that you've seen?
I can definitely see them staying 155 only because of maybe a little bit more data needed.
Yeah.
But I could also see them going 160. It's a 50-50 shot at this point. We have enough evidence for a Cat 5, maybe even more evidence for a Cat 5, but they could be conservative and stay a 4 just for a little bit more data until 5 a.m.
Okay, 2 new questions in here. Actually, three new questions. First one from Donovan. If you could take a guess on what the lowest potential pressure and maximum wind speed this could reach, what would I guess? Probably the lowest pressure, about 910. Highest winds, at the absolute max, 180. now next one is what if the jet stream doesn't dip as low as we want? I think the jet that's a bit of a Tristan. What could you take? You want to take that or okay?
A lot of the times, it's more of a trough and a cold front. The jet stream can carry systems,
Yeah.
but a lot of the time they just create shear. But sometimes in certain positions, troughs and jet streams can actually enhance a hurricane's outflow depending on the angle.
Yeah.
So if the jet stream doesn't pick it up, it might create some shear, but it's really hard to tell with this system because we haven't had one of these situations in a while. A lot of the time it's a cold front or a trough picking it up. When it's a jet stream, if it turns to the north, what you need to be concerned about is the jet stream may actually help the system sustain more, known as baroclinic forcing. That happens when you get more north into the Atlantic and near the poles. And what tends to happen is a storm tends to really get its winds more on the backside and a lot of rain on the front. In fact, if you combine with a jet stream, depending on the landscape, you might actually have more flash flooding causes. So jet streams can actually be really a worse situation with a hurricane.
Yeah.
If the jet stream doesn't dip, I think it will still go north because you still have a trough, you still have a cold front, and just a Coriolis effect might force it north.
Okay.
Unless it decides for some reason to move a little more west.
Okay. While you were talking, we got a new drop from the southeastern eye wall. It got down to 947 millibars before the drops malfunctioned. So, yeah, the lowest it got was 113 knots. I'm disregarding this drop because it didn't get all the way down to the surface. So, yeah. Anyway, the new recon data is coming in. Looks like they're about to head to the eye wall. Hopefully they'll make it one last time. They're moving at 240 knots this time around, so that's a significant increase from before. So, yeah. Okay, back to the question. It's right here. What are the winds right now? 155 according to Tropical Tidbits.
160 potentially with evidence we will see at the NHC 11 o'clock.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. So.
Will this hurricane end civilization? No, it won't. But I do like to troll questions sometimes. Like, as long as they're like more funny and not actually like bad trolling, they're okay. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. Nazario's saying someone pull up the Weather Prediction Center surface analysis. Yeah.
I know all about that website.
Yeah. If you could pull that up, that would be much appreciated.
From 3 to 7 days, what they're thinking, is that what he's asking? Because it kind of goes along the model consistency. So say day 6 and 7 for right now. Remember, the Weather Prediction Center updates with their flash flooding guidance around 5 to 7 a.m. because they're located actually not far from here.
Yeah.
So what tends to happen is they like to follow the model consistency, and it's actually a GFS scenario and for now, where the cold front comes early.
Really?
And helps the storm go north by some of the analysis I'm seeing. Yes, that doesn't mean it's going to happen, but that's just a very interesting take on what I'm seeing by analysis. But remember, that's 7 days out. It's not really...
Yeah.
It's not really... too reliable, but it can give you a clue of the pattern if the pattern trends over time.
Yeah, okay.
So that gives you a clue.
Yeah. Okay. If the system moves 100 miles west, then turns north, who would be affected? Are you referring yeah.
It would just move out to sea. The only area that would really be affected would technically... It couldn't really do that because of the high, but in theory, if it were to do that, then I would really fear for Bermuda and very eastern Canada. But otherwise, it would actually hit less places. But it may not be able to do that because, well, we don't know if it's turning north.
Yeah.
There's multiple players. We really just don't know.
Yep.
Someone asked, can this overpower the jet stream? No, if the hurricane gets into a bad position, the jet stream... will basically, I don't know, what's the way I could put it? Commit arson on the hurricane.
Yeah,
that's much. A perfect way to describe it.
Yeah. Okay, we still have almost 600 people in the chat right now, so thank you very much for tuning in. Be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. It helps us out greatly. And if you want to come hang out with us, join the Discord server, which is Storms United. It's in the pinned chat up there. So, yeah, that's our situation we have. So, I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the recon very quickly in just a second. So, let's see. Okay, it has not been updated yet. We will update in the next couple of minutes. So, yeah, the next, I'd say, 10 to 15 minutes are what's really going to make or break this thing being a Cat 5. So, yeah, Tristan, is there anything, Tristan, what do you think about all of this so far? I know we're saying could be a Cat 4, could be a Cat 5.
I think this is just a classic situation where, due to the evidence they have, they might just go 5, honestly. It'll only be 160, though.
I agree with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is just a classic Cape Verde.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a classic.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Besides the intensification.
Okay, Scott Patton's asking, what if the high is stronger than anticipated?
Oh, that would, if as long as their trough is there, it would still just mostly have the force going north. In theory, if the trough wasn't there or it was a negative tilt trough, how do I say this? The East Coast is screwed because we saw that during one of the storms. What was it? Sandy, where there was a high after the low went in, and then a negative trough out to the west, and it brought the storm in. That's likely not to happen. All the models have anticipated a positive tilt trough, which would just help steer the system, but it wouldn't grab the system.
Yeah. Okay. Will it hit me in Cocoa Beach, Florida? No, it's not going to hit Florida at this point. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Remember, keyword at this point, still monitor your local forecast and make sure you have your hurricane kits ready just in case the pattern does change.
Okay, Dan Denton has a okay. What was the hurricane that scared you me the most? I've never been affected by a hurricane before, but the hurricane that I've seen that scared me the most, to be honest with you, it's a tough one between Irma or Dorian. I'd have to go with Irma because of just where it went and how it affected a lot of people. It first it just smashed through the Leewards, smashed through the Virgin Islands, smashed north of Puerto Rico, smashed north of the Hispaniola, smashed the Turks and Caicos, smashed parts of the Bahamas, absolutely destroyed a lot of Cuba, and then turned north, smashed the Florida Keys, and then smashed pretty much all of Florida. So I'd have to say Irma. And parts of Georgia, too. Yeah, to keep that in mind. So, thanks for the question.
The storm that I was most afraid of, and I guess this was the first time I really got emotional over storms, was Harvey. When you think about what they had to deal with, not only did you have more than 60 inches of rain in some places, you also had tornado warnings. So what do you do in that situation? You can't go in the basement. It's flooded. If you go on top, you'll get hit by a tornado. And it's just the endless rain bands that kept causing misery that actually...
Yeah.
It was very scary. And Harvey still continued to produce tornadoes. I think there was a wedge tornado in the 1st of September in Pickens County, Alabama, actually, rated EF2. So Harvey continued tornado outbreaks and flash flooding problems.
Yeah, just Harvey was absolutely a disaster for Texas.
It was very scary for the people, too, because you had 2 separate threats that was endless and one counter to the other. What can you really do besides get into a shelter and get out of there?
Yeah, and as someone who actually been to Houston, I was there. I was there off and on for quite some time. Actually, I was off and on for quite some time. Actually, seeing some of the places where I would frequent when I was down there, getting flooded, like the aquarium, the Houston Aquarium. That was seeing the water from the bayou rise up to basically flood the place was absolutely shocking seeing that on camera. I actually have video footage of that on my Hurricane Harvey documentary that I made last year. So, seeing that was pretty scary. Okay. How wide is the system predicted when it's passing passing Puerto Rico? I don't know. It's gonna depend on what it does with the eye
Depends on the
replacement
eye
cycle.
replacement cycle.
Yeah. On the current. Yeah, on the current model on screen, can we review how the jet stream is affecting the storm? It's too early. It's too early out at this point.
If it ever turned north, it would make the storm move faster, and it would do some baryclinic forcing, making the rain and wind field a lot more larger than an eye wall replacement cycle. Actually, because the forcing is helping the storm not deepen, but really sustain and let all its energy out.
Yeah, for sure. Okay. Yeah, what's the difference between a jet stream, high pressure, and low pressure? Nazario, if you're in there, if you want to answer that question very quickly, go ahead and do that. Okay. Yeah, Nazario, if you want to answer that, go ahead. Yeah, thanks. Thank you very much. Nothing is certain past 5 days. Cautious optimism should not equal enough affirmation of reality. Anything could change. That's pretty much the biggest thing you guys should take away from the night. So, shout out to Rage and Aura for saying that. This is. Tristan, what do you want to say about that?
That's absolutely true, and especially with Cape Verde systems, it's they can either go out to sea. Remember, the perfect example was Florence. Everyone was like, "This is going out to sea," and it just kept going, and going. So and then it hit North Carolina eventually. I'm glad it didn't hit as a major. I'm glad it weakened the 90, but it still caused. By the way, one of the Mid-Atlantic's best tornado outbreaks in years, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And also a lot of flooding. So a potential impacts to DC. I actually know the area very well, but I will say this again: we don't know if it were to turn north. It actually depends where it turns north, because I have seen when hurricanes don't even affect Washington DC and they hit the East Coast. It just depends on the angle and how close it could get to the coast.
For sure.
A perfect example would be Irene.
Yep. It doesn't have to be a strong system to really cause a lot of damage. Irene proved that. Florence proved that. Harvey, even though it made landfall as a Cat 4, still proved that.
It did more damage as a tropical storm than a 4.
Massive flooding threat.
Yeah.
It was the flooding that really did it. I remember when people said Hurricane Sandy was going to sea and it smacked New Jersey. Yeah, interestingly enough, the European was the only model that predicted this heading towards the New York City area. That was quite something. Why did Florence not turn? Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say about that question. There are times where models that you would think the results would be very bold are actually very good. Fun fact. 2 weeks before Hurricane Ida, it was only the GFS. And then not until 6 days afterwards that models really started focusing on the potential of Ida. So, any model can land a hit and you don't know it, but that's why you follow the trends over time and you just don't assume it. And then especially in areas where, like the Central American gyre where Ida came from, we all know those could be very powerful systems. You really watch for trends, and then once you start seeing what other models want, you can kind of make a guess from there. And honestly, in my opinion, I think no model's 100%. You need to follow every model, have a consistency. Now, if a model has been successful with a previous storm, you can follow that model a little more, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the same for the next system. Every model may have a different outcome. It may be good, it may be bad, it may be foolish. But at the end of the day, they're just results. They just help a forecast.
For sure. I'm here. Hey, Blue, what's up?
Hello,
I'm
Blue.
back. I'm feeling a bit better.
All right, that's good. That's good. Anyway, we still have 550 people on the stream. Be sure to smash the like button. Also, subscribe to the channel. We're actually now 9 away from 4,400 subs, so be sure to hit the subscribe button. It would be much appreciated. Also, if you want to come hang out with us, join the Discord server, Storms United. We really appreciate it. But now back to the situation at hand. So, yeah, we've been kind of talking about this. It looks like it's going for one last pass in the eye, and it's moving at 258 knots towards there. So it's hauling butt to get in there. So let's hope we get a pass before the 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. Eastern advisory. So, yeah.
Interesting fact, actually. I don't think the viewers have realized, but in the history of modern records, there have only been 2 tropical systems in the United States that have produced snow.
One of them was
Hurricane
Sandy.
Sandy, and then another one was actually brief snow showers during Hurricane Zeta behind the cold front.
Yep.
In 2020.
Yeah.
Zeta, Sandy, also, you're forgetting...
Sandy did a blizzard, yep.
You're forgetting there was Hurricane Jenny in the 60s.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
I'm going to have to research that.
The snow hurricane, which was probably ex-tropical when it hit, but still.
Yeah.
No, I mean like purely like near tropical. Sandy was technically near tropical when it started at snow, and then Zeta was still a tropical storm when it started.
Yeah. This 1804 snow hurricane, I mean, it's so far back, it was probably ex-tropical when it hit. But still.
We can talk about that all night long, but yeah, that was Sandy and Zeta were quite interesting for sure. Okay, just prepare for the Eric Snyder is saying just prepare for the worst and hope for the best, all that stuff. Just for now, just monitor the situation, especially those of you who are living in the United States. It's too far out to start preparing now. Yep, update in 13 minutes.
I definitely going to know they're likely going to wait until the last second. They might even delay a few minutes depending on recon if they really need that last minute data.
Yep.
Sometimes they will do that. So we may have to stay on for 5 to 10 minutes more.
That's fine. That's fine.
We have to delay data.
That's fine.
But that's only if they do that.
Yeah. I'm guessing they're going to do it around 9:55 tonight. At this point, they're going to upgrade it to a high-end Cat 4 at least. They're going to, the evidence clearly supports that. The question is, will this get to Cat 5 or not? And basically what, as I like to say, pull a Matthew, essentially. Go from a Cat 1 to a Cat 5 in 24 hours. So, yeah. Okay.
Also, real quick, I know for those people flying those planes and the hurricanes, it is really late at night over there. They're likely tired. They might even have families. Shout out to them for putting people's lives on the line and helping us get information.
Yeah,
the better forecast to save lives.
Absolutely. Shout out to them.
They deserve all the respect. And a lot of the time, it's not even Recon's fault. Sometimes when the NHC do their advisories, careful. It might just be the NHC. The NHC does that, but the Recon gives us the literal latest information.
Yeah. Well, we just hit 4,400 subscribers on the Pat's Path Predictor channel, so thank you very much for all those who subbed tonight. Really appreciate that. But
over 100 tonight on this one stream.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. So, yeah, okay. Let's see if Recon's not updated yet, but they are going at almost 300 miles per hour to get into this storm. So, yeah, this is a bit of an unnerving quiet, but they have to do what they have to do. We'll pull up the public advisory and spam this whenever they're ready to go. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if this is a Cat 5, it was 80 miles an hour and 989 millibar this morning.
Yeah. Okay.
If this is a Cat 5, it will have gone to Cat 5 from 80 miles an hour in less than 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's like Wilma levels of intensification.
Yeah. Wilma, I think it went from 80 to 185.
No, not in 24 hours. Not in 24 hours.
Was it 36 hours?
36.
Oh,
36.
okay. All right.
I think in 24 it went 180 to 165.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Do you guys in chat? Do you guys want to see like how the satellite evolved in the last day before the next advisory? Like one in the chat if you want me to pull the frames back for satellite and show you the evolution of this in the next 24 hours. Sorry, the last 24 hours. Okay, we're getting a lot of yeses. We're getting ones. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's do it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Okay, let's go ahead and pull this back. We're gonna pull this back 270 frames to get an idea of what's happened. So, if we can, okay, there we go. This is where we were. Okay, that's fine. This is where we were about midnight last night when the cycle started to intensify. Things started to really ramp up. It was encountering a bit of dry air, and it did look like for a minute that the eye did start to pop up here and there. But then this morning, we saw actually, no, this is a couple of days ago. And then things really started to pick up last night. We started seeing an eye potentially starting to develop, but then it got covered by that. And then this became the center of circulation over here. And look how quickly it wrapped around, and look how quickly the eye started clearing out. The ice started clearing out in a matter of like 2 to 3 hours at that point, and then really things started to ramp up, getting a huge minus 70 ring, minus 80s at some point around this, and this is at what 12 o'clock this morning, 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So then this really okay, I don't see how. Okay, never mind. We'll get. Okay, there we go. So yeah, this is where we were at. What's up?
Nothing. I was just laughing at how
yeah, I know. Yeah, but anyway, this is where we were at. This is at this is at 11 o'clock. This is at 12. Look at how the eye became quite symmetrical, and then this is where we were around 7 o'clock tonight, and then this is where we're at right now.
Cat 5, 928, 160.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news for you. Hurricane Lee is now a potentially catastrophic, very dangerous Category 5 hurricane with winds of 160 miles per hour and a pressure of 928 millibars. Hurricane force winds extend out 45 miles from the center, and tropical storm force winds extend out 140 miles from the center. That is insane.
NHC just went Cat 5.
They did. Yeah. All right, data from a Hurricane Hunter Reserve indicates that the system is now 160 miles per hour with higher gusts. Lee is a Category 5 hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson wind scale. Additional strengthening is forecast overnight. Fluctuations in intensity are likely. I want to see the discussion with this. If it's not okay, it's not out yet. Okay, this is what we have. All right, so here's where we're at right now. Okay, this is they're going for 180. Yeah, 155 knots. Wait, they're calling for 180. They're calling for 180. Wow. Yeah, they're jumping the gun, and they're going for a max strength of 180 miles an hour in the next 12 hours, I think. That's huge. Oh my God. That's huge.
That is literally Irma type.
That's Irma and Dorian type right there. Yeah, they're going for 180. Let's see if I want to see the discussion. Okay, here's the discussion. Yep, 180 right here. And I want to go ahead and briefly read the parts of the description right here before we
I thought they went 160.
Yeah. Looks like I called.
So they did 160 now.
Yeah.
They're still only doing 165 unless they didn't update.
No, it's 160.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay.
Really?
Yep, 160.
And then now it's 180.
Yeah, it's expected to strengthen to 180.
Expected to rapidly dissipate even more into a 180 mile an hour system.
Yeah.
All the same.
This is the first Cat 5 of the 2023 Atlantic hurricane season, folks.
And maybe the only one.
Potentially, yeah. But here's what we have. I'm going to go ahead and read some of this. Air Force Reserve Hurricane Hunters have found that Lee has skyrocketed to a Category 5 hurricane. The aircraft measured a peak 700 millibar flight level winds at 148 knots, and trustworthy SFMR winds slightly over 140. Dropsun data shows that at the minimum, the pressure is dropped to 928 millibars. Based on these data points, the initial intensity is set at 140 knots, and Lee's maximum winds is increased by an incredible 70 knots in over 24 hours. So this doubled its intensity in the last 24 hours at this point.
And Blue, remember when those little recons were showing that flight level that I was saying was a 5? I think the NHC realized also that those measurements were a 5. So I think we caught a Cat 5 early. They just needed more evidence.
Yep. Okay, additional strengthening appears likely as Lee remains in a low sheared environment and over very warm waters near 30 degrees Celsius, where there is no signs. Okay, this is key right here, and there are no signs of an imminent eyewall replacement cycle. In fact, based on guidance from the CIMSS, the probability of a secondary eyewall forming in the next 24 hours is well below climatology. That's a problem.
Ooh,
that's a huge problem.
There is some chance that moderate deep layer southwesterly shear could develop over the hurricane.
Yeah.
We've been seeing that lately, actually, for a little bit here.
Yep. Yeah, there is. But this could be offset by the strong upper-level divergence and thus have little to no impact. To account for the recent rate of intensification, the NHC intensity forecast is slightly above the consensus aids and shows a peak of 155 knots in 12 hours. 155 knots is 180 miles per hour. And the HAFS runs are showing a peak intensity between 170 and 180 knots, but that's getting into rarefied air. The NHC forecast will be adjusted accordingly if those solutions begin to look like the more distinct possibility.
Oh, no shot.
What?
What? Okay, let's do the math real quickly for our audience here. What is that? 170 knots? 195?
Yeah.
And then, what is... Oh, God, 180. I'm scared.
Yeah.
180 knots is 200.
Let's calm down. Calm down.
So, in theory, if the storm were to do it,
yep,
it would beat every record.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see. This is a very serious situation that has just escalated that much more. Okay, so there's the intensity forecast right here. It is expected to intensify to a 180 mile per hour storm. It is expected to maintain this strength for at least the next 48 hours and then drop down to a Cat 4 and start weakening from there. Let's go ahead and see what the cone's going for at this point. Let's go ahead and... The cone is still having this move west-northwest. It looks like it is slowing down a bit.
That might be either a sign of the turn.
What's going on?
I'm probably going to go again just because...
That's fine.
Now that this is out,
that's fine.
I need to go call some other weather friends. But,
yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Holy hell.
Wow.
Holy hell.
This is a lot.
Anyways,
I'll see you guys.
You too. That is huge. Ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I never expected... Yeah, I never expected to see a Cat 5 on stream. This is crazy.
You know what the scariest part is? Those models that do the 170 to 180?
Yeah.
That's the structure they had before Lee really bombed out.
Wow.
They might be right.
Yeah.
Maybe not. But so far, they've been accurate. They've been pretty accurate. You know what? I give hands to them. I wasn't expecting them to be accurate.
Yeah, people in the chat are saying Dorian vibes. Kind of. Except Dorian did not intensify from 80 to 185 in 36 hours. It took several days.
And it didn't do it over the Bahamas. Oh my god.
Yeah, and what's also interesting is Dorian never got an ERC until it got to the point where it was over the Bahamas. That's crazy too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why are the clouds disappearing from there?
It might be reorganizing. I've seen stuff like this happen before. Look at Matthew, for example. Yeah.
It just it's so weird to have a Cat 5 and then the clouds just decide to be like, I'm just gonna go now.
It's gonna give it some time. Yeah. This has been a very crazy night here. We're going to stay on for a couple more minutes until we get the latest reconnaissance to kind of see what the flight level winds are going for at least. We already have confirmed this is a Category 5 system. So, yeah. And for those of you who are new, be sure to like the stream, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and join the Discord server. It's in the pinned chat below. Go ahead, Tristan.
And just in case anyone's interested, because that is one of our key components, the Lee's movement, tropical storm Margaret, I might have pronounced it wrong, still 40 miles an hour. It's still expected to become a 90-mile-per-hour hurricane. Models still do think in the subtropical waters later on as Lee does his northern turn in model runs. Could become a brief, maybe low-end Category 3 hurricane, but that's far out.
Yeah.
But the other storm will be important due to maybe figuring out what Lee's steering currents are. So both of them will have to be tracked. And because of this, we've 100% average hurricane season at this point.
Yeah.
It's 100% now. And it might go above average just because of Lee.
1,000%. Okay, recon's going in. All right. They're not.
Go ahead.
Okay, they're not exactly. Yeah, they're starting to encounter the eyeball, but yeah, that's crazy.
But I will say that if Lee is able to be an ace machine, which I think it will at this point, I think this might be one of the best aces. We still have all the way to potentially early October just for Cape Verde. We still have to worry about the gyre. We still have the subtropics, and we still have cold fronts all the way potentially to early December by climatology in a hurricane season. So what that means is the above average for hurricane season they predicted. At first we thought that was far-fetched, but after seeing what's happening, especially with, first of all, Franklin just for 2 days was a beauty. And then you have, and now you have Lee. And now potentially the one near Cape Verde, and then you have another tropical wave.
Wow! So
I think we're about to have a really ace amount of time.
Yep, 1,000%. All right. Well, that is a lot to digest right there. That is crazy. And we covered it live here on the Pat's Path Predictor channel. Unfortunately, we're going to have to cut it off right here, guys. It is 10 o'clock my time. It is 11 o'clock Eastern. I know a lot of people are tired, so we're going to go ahead and end it here. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel once again. If you are new, it helps us out, helps us make more videos like these. The goal of this channel is to get more people engaged with weather. I want to shout out to everyone on the Storms United team who came out and decided to stay up a bit later and cover this. Tristan, thank you for coming out, my dude.
No problem. And of course, always subscribe to Pat Pet channel. He does great content. You know, he gets the weather community together. And also, check out, of course, David and Taniel, since I do help Taniel a lot too. Those two channels definitely will also help your weather enthusiast and maybe some space from Taniel. But I would like to say thank you, everybody, for coming here. We first Category 5 by NHC analysis, not pre-analysis, Centurion of 2019. Orlando doesn't count. Orlando doesn't count.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know people meme about that.
Yeah.
But I want to thank y'all so much, and I hope y'all have a great rest of your nights and stay safe out there.
Yep. But with that being said, have a wonderful evening, guys. Stay